You wrote that?
That was our first writing assignment for Sonny.
No, we had written a script that year, and then at the end of the season, Rob came into our office. He's like, I've got this idea for an April Fool's prank for Danny.
There was a time. Are we running? We're rolling. There was a time when I first had my kids, where me and John were like in a long distance relationship with the time change in different time zones. Like we would be ships in the night. He'd be going to bed at 4. I'd be waking up. Like we would either be connecting at weird hours or not. Like I would text him and be like, John's gonna see that in like 12 hours, or he would be texting me and I'd be seeing it. It was crazy. Those are dark times, man.
Like how many years ago are you saying?
Like I mean, you know, when my kids were like, you know, under 3, so like, you know, 5-6 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, ripping and running.
Yeah, like 5, 6, 7, like 7 years. I mean, when they were born, and then like it slowly got better till when they were like 3. But in those beginning years, it was like, yeah, he was still ripping and running, and I was screeching halt on that front. We are recording this on Thursday, the day after this man ate 36 eggs.
Yeah.
Glowing. Looks fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ultimately I was like, I didn't eat too much yesterday.
I think you probably lost weight yesterday.
Probably, yeah.
Like if you we should have done a weigh-in. That was stupid of us. We
yeah.
You had 3 donuts and a pizza.
And I did eat a whole pizza last
That's
night.
like...
On top of
I would say that's standard for John.
It's all still inside me.
Nothing? Nothing yet? Nothing from it?
It might have had like a problem. Like we're getting to like problem areas.
Something's got to come out of something.
I hate when you keep saying it's all still inside.
It is a gross way to say it.
It's the grossest way to say it, but it's also like the least gross way to say it.
Yes.
Like,
well, yeah.
I haven't
shit my eggs out yet. I do feel like if I were to like slice your stomach open, like eggs would come out. Yeah. Not organs, not blood. It would just be an egg.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is is that something that eggs does? I don't know. Maybe that's like, you know, if you eat like a lot of cheese or some shit.
Yeah, it backs you
I
up.
would imagine like you need some fiber. I don't think they've had fiber.
Yeah, you got to go eat some Raisin Bran, dog. Just throw a whole box of that on top. I feel like the bran or whatever would get into the stomach and be like, oh my god, this is too much for us to handle. We need more. Get a bit of laxative. This isn't gonna be enough.
I had a slice of pizza last night. It got my stomach. It was like, is that 36 eggs?
We're used to the ice cream bowl. What the fuck is going on in here? Who invited eggs to the party? I was ready to see my buddy Sour Patch Kids. I was ready to see fucking grilled chicken. Where did you guys come from? Oh my god, that either proves one of two things, or maybe both could be true at the same time. One, that challenge is just not as hard as we think it is. Or two, John is a pig. He's a pig.
But he was struggling at the end.
Were you?
I was struggling once with the hard boil because they got me some gross hard boils. They were like they were.
You didn't cook them?
No, they got it at the deli next door, which I've
First
eaten
of all,
from
not
once.
they, Pabs.
Is not good.
But I was gonna say also, you eat those.
What? Hard boils? Yeah.
But you eat the hard boils in a pack, sold it to the airport.
But this was like,
these were gross.
You could tell
these were so.
Once
bad.
I puked it up or spit it up, Pabs was like, "Oh yeah, that was disgusting." Like I'm guessing they put it in there in the morning, and it's just been sitting in the water. Like when I bit into the egg, like water had seeped in, like it like squirted into like a gusher. It like squirted into my mouth. And I was like, I can't eat this.
Yo.
And it was. I think because of the water, it was so diluted that it was flavorless. And like,
and then it's just the texture.
It's just the texture of egg. Like I don't even like the taste or texture particularly. But like,
I don't even like eggs.
Without, I don't love eggs.
Yeah.
I don't refuse to eat them. But I won't order eggs out. Like I won't get an omelet or something.
Okay,
like
what do you think what would have been harder? That's a comparable sized food, like 36 donuts would have been harder.
Probably, I feel like those are heavier.
That's probably heavier. What's a good comparable for eggs?
I also just want to say real quick that after you ate, like you're on your high horse about that one egg, but like after you ate an egg, a raw egg that you tried to eat, that you then spit up on the frying pan, and then you fried it up.
She's right.
And you thought that the other egg was a little too watery.
Like don't come crying about the fucking hard-boiled egg when you were slurping raw ones.
Yeah.
Slurping.
Oh, and then you did a raw one with salt and pepper, and you were going to put
pretty good.
ketchup in it.
That was
and
pretty
make
good.
like
Would you rather have done another raw one than the hard-boiled?
Yes, for sure.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think I could do one raw without throwing up.
It was a lot easier to shoot it out of the glass than it was to suck it out of the shell.
The way the verbs you're using are just disgusting. It was just too easy, though. Too easy. I think you're a pig.
I mean, it's the challenge, at least the way I saw it months ago, was in a waking day. And I did it between the hours of 11 and 6.
Yeah, I mean, you smashed the time record. When do you think this would get hard for you? Like 60? Age 60?
Probably, but at the same time, also I think at one point I posited that I have the most eggs inside of me any man's ever had inside.
You think that but boxers and wrestlers and all that shit?
Well, then we Googled it, and Joey Chestnut once ate 141 eggs in 10 minutes.
I was going to say, yeah, those guys are...
So I was like, oh. And then I felt like a real bitch to be like, oh, I've been worried about...
hyping this up.
I might spike my cholesterol today. Shut the fuck up, John, dude.
I do think, though, that there's a strong chance that if we, let's submit you to like the same testing that Olympic boxer had. I want to see your chromosomes. I want to see your DNA because I think you're part pig. Yeah. I think you have hog, like swine DNA.
It would explain the pink undertones.
It would honestly check a lot of boxes. Yeah, you live in
explain
filth.
why I always shit on my balls.
Is that what they do?
Yeah,
well, like there's one
pig
picture.
that like his balls hang to the back. It just like slides down him. It's gross. But yeah, you do live in filth.
Yeah,
you're pink. You eat like anything in front of you.
Check.
And you're a lovable guy.
But pigs lovable?
Well, yeah, pigs are misunderstood. Pigs are like this. What we do to pigs is terrible.
Yeah,
pigs are like right below dogs, and we slaughter them in mass.
They decorate their own homes.
Right, like they have emotions. They are very intelligent. They make a living space. They decorate it. They have partners, like all that shit, and we wreck them.
Yeah.
Okay, but
whereas
also,
like if one dog was ever to be killed, it would be like a national story.
I have less respect for them because sorry, but in terms of
headlines, Jackie doesn't respect pigs.
in terms of evolution. Like how I talk about this, how like I don't think there's just some certain species that like aren't fully evolved, and like their whole sweat glands thing, like the fact that they have to roll around in mud to just get sweat glands.
You don't sweat.
You don't sweat.
You're a pig.
Oh my God.
Bro, you're a pig.
What if I'm a pig?
At the very least, you have like a chromosome in there. You might be half pig.
My mom did refer to it as her double birthing day. That's very piggish.
Yeah, she had a litter. Yeah. She has a litter on August 14th. You're a pig.
The sweat glands thing
That's
is
solidified. Remember when we went to Whistle Pig? He was like best friends.
Yeah.
They were like kissing and hugging and eating food together out of the trough. They
loved me.
They loved you. Everyone else was a little like, I'm a little scared, and the people at Whistle Pig were like, be careful. John was like eating, like he put a pig apple in his mouth, and the pig ate it out of his mouth. The pigs were like, well, you're home. One of us. This is
not how I thought today's episode was going to go.
You're a pig man. You're man bear pig man.
I am a pig man.
John asked in earnest what he thought his undertones were. What do you think?
Jackie's been very kindly on. I bought some shirts that are like kind of risky colored, and Jackie's has been like, not your color. And I was like, what is my undertone? And to be fair, I went, is it pink? She was like, what the fuck do you think it is?
Do you don't tan?
I actually tan. I don't burn. Really.
Is this you tan? Like what's your tan line look like right now? Oh, you're tucked? Are you tucked?
Yeah, it's got high-waisted pants on too.
Do you like when you go out in the sun? Do you load up on sunblock?
I'll put on like 30. Like if I'm at a full beach day, I'll probably put it on twice.
But you'll just pop the top and sit like in the sun like this.
Yeah.
I
mean, not for long. Again, if I'm gonna be outside all day, I put suntan lotion on. If I'm a regular day,
it's not a worry though.
No, not really.
Like okay, that's crazy. Because you're pink.
But I don't spend too much. If I'm going to the beach, I'm putting on sunscreen for sure.
Right.
And if
I'm going to the beach,
golfing-
I like dread it and hate it, and I'm like I have to plan it and all that shit.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. I don't do that. I've had bad burns in my life. I think I'm probably just a pretty normal person when it comes to how I react to this.
Well, you're not normal. You're not normal.
Well, let's see what happens with pigs.
do pigs tan? Yeah, I mean, from now on, I'm just gonna have to base my handling of John on how we handle pigs.
Yeah.
Do pigs tan?
Let me find out that pigs have like problems with depression and self-esteem, and I will cancel the show. I can't do a show with a literal pig. Like, pigs don't feel good about themselves.
Do pigs have feelings?
Yeah, they definitely do, though. It really is crazy how much we kill pigs, because other animals don't really know what's going on. The chickens and the cows. It's just like, they're alive, they're dead. They don't really know what's going on. Pigs are like, please don't slaughter me, and we're like, we're slaughtering you.
It reminds my buddy lived in upstate California working on a farm, and he had a dog. Got a dog while he was out there. He bought off a heroin addict, and he got a van with it too.
Got a what?
Got a van with it.
Right, he bought a dog and they threw in the van.
Yeah, threw in the van.
That's great. But no, honestly, that's great. That's like a story. That's like a book or a movie. It's like, and now me and my dog are just gonna drive cross country in this van.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
And made skis.
That needs to be like
It's a movie.
It's a movie. That needs to be called like Me and My Pig, or like A Boy and His Pig, or some shit like that. Or A Man, a Pig, in a Van.
He became a vegetarian because he learned that the pigs were smarter than the dog.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, this sucks. But then I accidentally gave him. Well, I didn't accidentally give him. I just gave him an Italian sub one day, and he ate
the whole thing.
And he's like, God, this is the best. This is so good. And then he remembered there's fucking food. There's meat in it.
I know somebody the same thing. They found out. They saw like the comparison between a pig and a dog, and they were like, "Oh my god, pig is so much smarter." And they started eating dogs. No, but I do know.
Robert Kennedy.
But I do know people who are not like vegetarians and shit. But they're like, but I don't eat pigs because I think it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, bro. You one person, like, have some salami, bro. The thing about pig is it's so versatile. Like, you might be like, I don't like bacon, but it's like if you have like any lunch meat, you're aside from turkey, you're basically having a pig.
Yeah.
Or if you have any sort of pork, how is it
salami.
so? I think salami's pig, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't know.
I
know,
would
like,
guess
ham and bologna and
pork.
All pork. I mean,
Pork's
but it's just so. But pork chops are pig.
Yeah.
I think so.
And lamb chops are lamb.
Yeah.
But I think of those two things together, but they're
pig.
totally
Yeah,
separate.
pork.
So pig is very versatile. It's like it could be a slice of bologna, but it can also be like this, nice piece of. Look at that! Look how much we eat off a pig, bro.
God.
We just look at that. Look at that, man. This is the ribs. This is the bacon. This is the ham. This is the fucking. Oh, people eat pig jowls. You're disgusting. But this is also good to know that if we ever get trapped in a like a snow setting, we can eat John. He's a pig.
I've always said I should be the first.
Yeah, and now
you
definitely he's a
probably
pig.
would have been anyways.
Well, I'm gonna look at this fucking chart, and I'm gonna be like, all right, slice off his ass. That's the ham. Jackie, you're eating his jowls.
Dude, Jackie you didn't even smile. We're like, yeah, you were probably gonna be anyway.
That's always a good question too. Yeah, that's you. You're the pig man. You are the pig man. That kind of looks like me. Yeah, honestly,
I can see
that one definitely does. Who is that? That is for sure you.
John Pork is a thing for some reason.
John Pork?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably because of Feitelberg. John Pork is called.
John
Oh my
Pork's
god.
been around
Oh my
the
god,
for a
dude.
little bit.
Bro, if you put on a bucket hat, that would be you.
That's me.
Johnny Bacon.
I'm in for that.
Johnny Bacon's a great
I'll be a
nickname.
pig. Okay.
I'll be a pig.
He's got more followers than you.
He's got more followers than you. Dude, do me a favor. Get a shirt and a hat like that. Just that right there, that first picture. And we just got to do a side by side. I want you in that shirt and hat.
Good news. I
pig
have
man.
both already.
Have we done that like officially for this group? If we were like, who would we eat first?
I would be last, right?
I could see like a boys thing being like,
Yeah, like ladies.
No,
like-
no, the opposite. Like, let's just get rid of Jackie, right?
Oh no, I don't think I would be part of that. I don't think.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't,
no, me neither. I would be chivalrous too.
I think no, it's not about chivalry. I just don't think that Jackie's like an appealing.
Eat.
Oh my god. Thank you so much.
But looking around, I think I'd be like, guys, it should be me. But would you mind starting with the leg so I can get a few bites first?
John, it would be like day 2, and John be chopping on his own leg. I'm hungry. Like, we found a bunch of fruit. I'm fucking hungry, man. Chop off my leg.
We would have we would be outside. Like when we were on the blackout tour and we got stuck outside one night. Like, it would be like that, where we've been outside for a night in civilization.
Yeah,
and I'd have my fucking belt off. I'd be getting a tourniquet on my leg. I'd be fucking sawing it. Like, dude, there's a McDonald's. It's going to open in 3 hours. You
can get Taco Bell. It's 24 hours.
Do you think that the eggs have cooked inside of you right now?
Yeah, like, what if?
What if you burn? What if it's the opposite? Maybe they're the embryos are growing.
That's what I'm saying. 3 of them I didn't fucking chew. 3 of them just went down as a full embryo.
John could get pregnant right now.
John needs to have a chicken abortion. Imagine you go to the clinic and they're like rubbing on you. And you're like, there's 3 chickens. They're coming out of your mouth.
Be like,
You're a half pig, half chicken.
Yeah.
I posed the question. I was explaining to people yesterday your new rating system of the how many days.
Oh yeah.
And then it evolved into another discussion. If you were stuck on an island, same situation, how long before you are allowed to cheat?
Oh, yeah, I kind of thought about this too. I think a month you could be like.
Yeah, that was kind of the consensus in the discussion I was having. But I was also thinking, like, I wouldn't blame anybody for anything in that situation. So this is how kind of the conversation went. It was like, if you were, say you crashed. Here's what's funny about this. If you crashed with your boyfriend or girlfriend, I think you would go longer before you had sex than if you crashed with a stranger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you'd be like,
I didn't see that.
not now, babe. Like, we're fucking, I gotta find clean water. I gotta find food. We gotta find shelter. Like, there are days, there are times in a relationship you go a couple weeks without fucking, and you're just living in civilization.
Yeah.
So why all of a sudden when we're on an island, do I have to fuck you right away? Like, because we're in a relationship. It's like, I'll get to you in a month. We have to worry about other shit. But if you crash with a stranger, after like 8 hours, you think you want to fuck.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just a testament because we're all pigs deep down. But if you fuck somebody, and then like, the rescue plane came like in a day, and you go home and your girlfriend's like, you couldn't wait a day, dude.
Okay, but also the questions that come after are more about like you don't have to say that part. Like the questions are going to be.
I'm saying like, but what if you just found out?
But like the thing, okay, if they found out,
like because I mean, obviously
but
we both just
like,
take that to our grave and like we're good. But like, if it was like if the other person went on the media tour and was like it was romantic, we were fucking. You're like, bro, come on. But then another interesting wrinkle: if you're gonna do it, I say you got to get it done within the first 72 hours because then everyone starts getting gross.
I was just going to say,
no one's showering, no one's shaving, everything is nasty. People might have eggs in their bodies. Like, who knows? And it's like, now I don't even want to fuck you. So, but if my girlfriend came home and she was like, I fucked that guy the first day, I think I'd be like, I don't know, you're probably under some pretty extreme circumstances, and you're staring down the barrel of like, we're gonna die here. Like we're never getting out of here. I don't know, whatever. I don't think I blame you.
It's intellectually, I would understand it. I don't know how I would.
Yeah.
Like emotionally, you don't really know until you're in it.
Right.
But like intellectually, I'd totally get it.
Right. I would definitely get it after like a long period of time.
Yeah.
But I also think after a long period of time, then your body adjusts, and then like you don't need you don't need deodorant or shampoo, so then you become less gross. But then there's like that time
you don't
in
become less.
between.
Your body just becomes less. You don't care as much. Because you're both just becoming like
but also
animals.
it's like I feel like then you resort to like natural
or
like
you figure out some shit. This
is
like some aloe and this
or like
leaf
you just
or
don't need, I don't know, and also you get more desperate as time goes on, so that's just like fine.
God,
whatever.
can you imagine desert islands like 6 months in sex? I don't know.
I
know what you
get
mean,
hotter.
but I think it's just
I think you would get hotter. Like yes, you would be gross for a couple months, but then your body would adjust. You'd be tan.
Yeah, you lose weight,
Yeah,
skinny.
you
Yeah, but
Skinny.
you're gross skinny. Like
Yeah,
no one
you're-
gets off
yeah.
Survivor and they're like looking good.
Yeah, because you're not like working out. You don't get protein and shit. You're just wasting away.
You're emaciated.
But maybe like some fat people would be like, "This is great.
Yeah.
I'm fucking. I'm skinny." What?
Nothing.
No, say it. Paz is like what?
I'm just thinking of Pabs watching like World War II footage, being like,
guys.
"Damn, those people come out of those camps looking pretty skinny."
You want that concentration camp diet?
The Nazis were just trying to get them hotter. That's all.
They weren't killing them. They were fucking them. Jesus.
You could be a runway model after a couple months.
Yeah, it's like, what were you? I just had, like cigarettes and fucking. It's like the runway model, cigarettes and cocaine.
Yeah,
You were on nothing but like gas and fucking. Never mind. Move on.
I had 3 texts yesterday
I got a text.
that what's that?
It's Love Island. I started
Love Island joke. You wouldn't know that. You started USA.
Yeah.
Season 6.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I got like 3 texts that were awesome. One, I got out of a shower last night and I had a text from my buddy, like my best friend, and like I was his best man, godfather to his kid, like, and I saw my phone. I was like, "What's he texting me?" And it's my birthday. And I was like, we don't have that kind of relationship. And then I opened the text and it was just, "Yo, did you introduce me to Lost Dog Street Band?" And I went, "Yeah, why?" And he went, "They're good." And I went, "Yeah." And he went, "Yeah." And that was it. And I was like, "Oh, okay, he doesn't know it's my birthday. Thank God." That would have been really weird if he knew it was my birthday.
That is such a good guy text too, though.
I would have been like, it would have changed the course of our friendship. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Yeah, I mean that's a guy, birthday texts from guys are a whole different animal than girls. Like I feel like if you don't get it from a girl, that changes the trajectory of your friendship, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
For real though, you'd be like mad.
I personally wouldn't, just because like I forget birthdays a lot. But if there's people who like should remember, I hold it against you.
Really?
Yeah.
You do yourself. Because I was gonna
I don't
say,
let it
I
show
feel like
in the back of my mind.
I feel like at the heart of all of women's problems is like one group of girls. Because like they all hate. It seems to be. I see every girl hates to do bridal showers and baby showers, and they seem like bachelorette shit is such a fucking headache, and they like things like this. They didn't remember my birthday, but then they all hold it against each other. Like if you all just agreed to not care about those things, you would just be like guys. So I feel like it boils down to like one girl who said she was mad about these things, or we have to do these things, and then all the girls followed, but you don't actually want to do it. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I get. I don't know enough about like bachelorette parties and all that yet.
Like I saw a video of it said like POV, you're on a bachelorette party and the bride is an influencer. And she had like 10 girls behind her and she's teaching them this dance, for TikTok. And I was just thinking like, how fucking insane is that to be like you're a dancer and influencer, fine, but you're going to make these like 10 girls, some of them all different shapes and sizes, all different coordination levels, and they're all trying to learn this fucking dance for you. And it's like,
but
lady,
I also
come on,
I think
dude.
all that is like it matters the woman.
Yeah.
Like-
But that's what I
like-
mean. Like, they
for-
all seem to be like, oh, it was such a headache. But then when it comes time for you to do it, you do it.
But I feel like what women like lack in like holding stuff like that against each other, it's like they make up for in supporting each
Fierce
other and talking to
loyalty.
each other. Yeah, exactly. All that. So that's all I'll say. It's a different
I feel
Like,
like
my brother's fiance, they had the bridal shower. I didn't even know about it, and then
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was like,
mean,
"How
of
was
course,
the day?"
it depends
and they were
on
like, it was pretty nice. We
depends
went to
on,
the beach
on
and we
the,
did this and
the stuff that you make people do. But, I see it's like you have to buy this, wear that. You can
feel
only
like
have your hair this way, you're dressed that way. What's that?
So I feel like it looks so fun. Like,
Yeah.
But I have heard.
I think it also depends on how many you've done. Because I think in the beginning
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
oh, this is
yeah.
the first time. And then when you're like 35 and you're like, we've done this
Gets like
15
expensive.
times. Yeah, because it's expensive. It's
Also, what did you getting out of the shower have anything to do with in that
it
story?
was just when I saw my phone.
Got it.
Like my phone was out and like
Got it.
I could have just said I grabbed my phone.
Yeah, for some reason it was like, why am I picturing him in a towel now? Okay, who were the two others?
The 2 others were 2 other famous people who I share the same birthday as, and so Sammy Adams is one.
Maddie Trump!
and we've said it before like a few times. Like we acknowledge that we have the same birthday. So yesterday I texted him, "Happy birthday, dude," and I got back a thanks, man. And then
That's happened to me before.
That's brutal.
I just didn't reply. And then
What's up, birthday buddy? Yeah, thanks, man.
Jen Vrabel texted me, and she's like, "It's your birthday, right? Happy birthday!" And I was like, "Oh, it's right. I owe the big man a text because Vrabel has the same birthday." Same thing. I was like, "Happy birthday, you old bitch!" And he was like, "Thanks, I'm 39, you motherfucker," or something like that.
Wait.
And then I had to Google. He's 49. He lied.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, if Mike Vrabel's the same age as me, I'm blowing my head off. Oh, man, that's tough, man. I feel genuinely bad. Like, my heart hurts right now for you. That sucks so much. That stinks.
It's like straight up Michael Scott.
Yeah.
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 Happy birthday, Jan. Oh, I thought we had the same birthday.
You didn't say anything after
No.
that.
Both I left. I was like, fuck.
Man. Sam Adams and Vrabel were probably just going through the phone. Thanks.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about this pig man. Yeah, so I saw this. You're the 130,000th most popular August 14th birthday ever.
Okay. That's not great. That's not where you want to be.
I was like 49,000 or something. Just saying. Leo, you're the 12th most popular Leo podcast.
Wait, but yesterday I was 21st. Wasn't I?
No,
I think you're just dyslexic.
no, I don't.
Well, I didn't know, Pat. You told me this because then you were like, "Well, Glenny's 11." I wasn't one behind Glenny. I was a lot.
That's right. You
I was a
bumped
lot
up.
behind
It's because of the eggs.
Yeah, the egg bumped me up like 10 spots.
No way. Joe Rogan and Alex Cooper, that's tough to compete with.
These are all Leo birthdays,
These are Leo podcast hosts, and
bro. Being the 12th most
All right,
popular
I'll take.
Leo
You can.
podcast.
I will fairly take behind Cooper, Rogan, and Lex Friedman. I raise issue with the other ones.
Wait, Sean Williams is
Lenny Balls.
hot ones, right? No,
Sean
that's
Evans.
Sean Evans.
he
Wait.
doesn't even. You don't have a picture either, though.
I mean, if you're faceless, you're definitely not. Oh, you're faceless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My bad. Wait. Stop going so fast. So, Cooper, Rogan, Friedman, yes. Keep
Glenny
going.
Balls.
Glenny Balls is you're above.
Well,
Glenny
Glenny's
Balls.
bumped up too. Glenny was 11. Now he's 9.
All right, now go down to the bottom. So I think you're third on this, fourth behind Lex.
Spike Eskin, I recognize.
He's at WIP in Philly.
Oh,
You're more famous than him.
Yeah.
He was at WFM for a cup of coffee. And who's at the very bottom? No, yeah, you're the fourth most. I would even say, like, in certain circles, it's so weird. Cooper and Rogan, obviously, above you. In certain circles, you are way more popular than Lex Friedman.
Yeah.
And then in certain circles, he's way more popular than you.
In
So
the
I would say
normal circle. I'll take the normal circles.
yeah, honestly,
I'll take the regular
Like,
person
he has way
circles.
more. Like the statistics will say, like, he has more followers and shit. But regular guys, Lex has kind of started to creep into that because guys are nerds and and he's gotten political and all that
Yeah.
shit. But I would say you are like tied with him.
Let's say me and Lex Friedman go to a fucking Rangers game.
Right. That's what I say. Yes. You're getting more shout outs.
I'm a blue collar guy.
Yeah. And more importantly, people might be like, oh, that's like Lex Friedman, where people with you would be like, who's got smaller, you pink bitch? You fucking pig man, what's up? How many eggs you got in your belly right now? People would know you, dog. People would know who you are. All right, let's do mine. Am I in there? Yeah, so I'm the 46,000th most popular March 6th birthday. Got to give a shout out to my man Shaq. Got to give a shout out to Michelangelo.
You just never interviewed Dave Chappelle or Ryan Lochte.
I love how me cheating is trivia. Holy shit. Trivia.
Fun fact.
Trivia. In a Twitter video, he said, I've ruined my life. That's the funniest thing that's ever. That is the funniest thing ever on the internet. Fun fact. Hey, you got a fun fact? He said, quote, I've ruined my life. Holy Christ on the cross. Now wait, I'm the number 40. I'm the 45th most popular 40-year-old Pisces? We are really getting specific with the rankings here. How many 40-year-old Pisces are in the game? I'm the number 1 March 6th author.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I'm not an author. But I'm a writer. I'm the number 1 March 6th writer in the world. I think Michelangelo did write a couple things, though. Man, I got some
Pisces
heavyweights, though.
Kevin.
Keep going down. Is that Kevin Hart? Oh, no, that's just...
first name Kevin.
These are just people named Kevin. People over 40. This is crazy. On the number 5, Clancy.
Who's
Tom
got you beat
Clancy?
other than Tom?
Well, no, this is on the birthday.
Right, but who? Like, Tom Clancy. That's it. I'm more famous than all these other motherfuckers.
Yeah, Abby Clancy. I recognize that name. I feel like she was maybe a Guess That Ass person back in the day.
Really?
I've definitely recognized. I don't know why. But yeah, I would say
on.
behind Tom,
Yeah.
you're.
I'm the second most famous Clancy ever. No, there's got to be other No, Clancy's like popular, but not. You don't see.
Yeah,
it.
like there's only like 8 on here.
Yeah,
4, 8, 10.
there's no famous Clancys.
But again, I think that's birthday.
It's that you share the birthday.
That you
with.
share the birthday.
Right. But who else is famous Clancy?
No, I don't think that's you share the birthday. Click the.
Last name Clancy.
Oh yeah, you might be right.
Like Tom Clancy has your same birthday. That would be a surprise.
Yeah. Right. I would know that. Yeah, that's just.
Yeah, no, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Huh.
What are you so fucking surprised about, Pat? If you're Fun fact: he's a philandering piece of shit. Fucking hate the internet. I truly hate the internet. Before fame, fuck you.
It is crazy, like how they knew. Like Paz was like, "How'd you like Tansy Elementary School?" And I was like, "What? Like, how do you know like what schools I went to?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy. Wait, go back real quick. What's really funny,
Even
is-
knowing like I did my freshman year at like a local high school and then went to a different school. Like I've said I went to Portsmouth Abbey. I think you would just like.
Yeah, I would never know your other shit. But also, I made podcasts about Dave Chappelle, A-Rod, and Ryan Lochte. I never interviewed them. I was like, I interviewed Dave Chappelle? What? No, I just talked about them.
It's also Ryan Lochte is kind of a random one to throw in there.
Yeah. You know, the big guns.
No, it's because there was like I had a like documentary podcast thing, and those were like the 3 main ones that I did.
Oh, okay.
The Ryan Lochte one was a joke, actually.
I have one of my business ideas is
We haven't done Jacked Up in a minute.
like somebody that you can hire to respond to all your birthday texts for you.
So have you seen Instagram create the AI version of you?
Oh.
Anybody, you can create an AI profile now that does like things like that like will reply to DMs for you in like your tone of voice, and I'm sure it would do things like that as well.
Oh,
So they basically are creating this
fuck.
already.
Well,
And I think it's for if you're labeled like, professional or whatever on Instagram. Now, I don't know if just like anybody can do it, but anybody can just click professional,
Yeah.
So I think you create like a second page, and I think it would say like Jackie Nichols and look like you and all that, and people would think that like they're following you and talking to you, but it's or maybe it's like integrated into your page. It's not a second page, but
yeah.
either way.
But I
feel
don't
like
want
if-
that. Like,
No,
I had a
heavens no.
few
I'm just
texts
saying that-
yesterday that I didn't reply to because the last text that person sent me was "Happy Birthday."
I hate those.
And it's like, oh, we just don't have a relationship, and that's
Break
okay.
the cycle. Break the cycle
Yeah,
of that. If
like-
if you see happy birthday, thanks, then you say happy birthday, thanks,
See,
and then
that
they say
was-
happy birthday, thanks. Done.
Yeah.
Stop that.
That was the yes, stop that, but also like I didn't say happy birthday to them, so it's just the last text we have is them saying happy birthday to me, and then it's another happy birthday to me. It's like we don't fucking.
Also, that person's pathetic. if I pull it up to happy birthday you and you didn't happy birthday me, I'm done.
And I didn't even say thank you to the last one.
Oh, so you're just leaving them?
It's just like
So
yeah,
they have back to back happy birthdays with no response?
Yes.
Pathetic.
yeah.
That person needs to kill themselves. I can't believe Nate did that. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, meaning anytime anybody at Barstool goes to a live event, which is a lot of people going to all the best live event stuff in the country, from sports to concerts to comedians to Broadway shows, anything live, we go with Game Time because they are the best, easiest, and most reliable and most affordable ticketing app in the world. And right now they have their new Game Time Picks feature, which basically cuts out all the fluff, all the bullshit. When you go on your app and you see there are these tickets that are wildly like nosebleeds and badly priced, or you see these really expensive front row, it cuts out all of the outliers, all of the bullshit, and gives you the best deals and the best tickets that normal people like you want to see. So you don't have to filter through all these things that are outliers, all these things that nobody wants to buy. It's all of the best tickets right there available. All you gotta do is click and buy. Everything downloads easily. Everything can be transferred easily to the people you're going with. It is the most seamless ticket buying process on the internet today. Right now, go to Game Time, the app, use the promo code KFC, and you can get all of these deals, flash deals, different geographic deals, different times, all the best prices available. That's Game Time. Use promo code KFC. Check out their picks featured today.
Hey, what's up, guys? I was just listening to a couple episodes ago when you guys were saying that there should be like a common sense law, and that pretty much anyone doing anything abnormal should be put in like a felon timeout. And I think that's a great idea. I think there should be a whole weirdo law enforcement. If you catch someone doing something weird in public, you call the weirdo police. Mm-hmm. They get arrested and sent to weirdo jail for a couple of days, and then they get put on trial in front of a bunch of normal people. That's the jury, just all selected normal people. And then if they're convicted, they have to go on like an official weirdo registry and walk around the neighborhood.
Love that.
And tell everybody whatever weirdo felony they got convicted of. And if everyone wants to, they can kick him out of the neighborhood.
This guy
So
hates
yeah, I
weird
think that's the
weirdos.
cornerstone of Kevin's presidential run this year.
Dude, weird is having a moment. The word weird all over the political world.
Yeah.
That, like, you're weird. No, you're weird. Weird is a great word, though, because when you're a weirdo and you're just being weird, people don't like weird. Weird's weird. Weird is weird.
Arguably the most successful political campaign I've ever seen in my life.
Ever.
We're like,
Yeah.
you're right. They're weird,
Dude, I'd rather be like, somebody call me like dangerous or
Yeah.
violent or
'Cause that-
weird is like, no, you don't want to be the weird guy. You don't want to be the weird guy.
It is like the weird's bad. And the first thing that came to mind when he said this, the people who talk on speakerphone in public.
Weird.
It's a weird thing.
It's a weird thing. It's just weird that you're like, first of all, this is pretty well talked about. Have you never seen anything where people are like, you're an asshole for not having headphones or whatever? And secondly, like, why would you think that this is an okay thing to do in public? You're weird.
There's a guy at the gym the other day doing it. Just like I was like, we're in a gym, dude. You're announcing your fucking
Insane.
thing.
Now, but I think there's levels to weird. Like, that guy's weird, but he's probably not as weird as like a guy who goes up to a girl and does weird shit at a bar. You know?
The other day, a guy, I was in like the Dwayne Reed below, and he was kind of like checking me out, and he went up behind
Jackie,
me.
your mic's going out.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, you're good now.
Can you hear?
It's not so easy.
And he came up behind, like when we were in line, and it sounded like he got on a fake call, and he was like, I said fire him, or he didn't say I said fire him. He said, I said, like, take all of his accounts away or something like that. It was like something like super threatening. And like I was listening, there was nobody on the other end. I'm 90% sure he like was just faking that. Like, to, like,
It's weird.
I've done that when I was like 18.
Really?
Yeah, it worked though.
you know?
I said execute the trade for $10 million.
Dude, it was like I was like the CEO or like VP of an insurance company.
Yeah.
She was an older woman. I peed her
Well, you
bed.
said that.
Oh yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, we were watching a Denzel movie. I forget what it was.
Was that also the one with you left like a note on the fridge or something like that?
No, I checked the fridge to make sure there weren't kid pictures.
Right.
Like-
That's
like-
what it was. I
yeah.
knew there was something about the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
It could cut out again.
fuck, sorry.
Unplug it.
Oh, it is just unplugged. Can you hear me now? That was your mic, so I have 50% to blame. Sorry. Anyways. Oh, one thing that I've been thinking about for a full 24 hours. What the fuck is the problem? I was in there while you finished. Dude, stop.
Welcome to the third chair, Jackie.
Dude, by the way, third chair, already everything I've wanted to accomplish has been accomplished.
Yeah, totally. So much better.
That, yes, sure, Jackie, you're doing great.
Oh.
Right away, she's like, we got to fix the lighting.
Yeah. We're all gonna look fucking amazing. We've been looking like dog shit for 15 years. One episode in, we're gonna look amazing.
Every time we have a clip, I'm like, I don't think I look like that.
Yeah.
First of all, I was talking about the lighting over there.
Jack's like, we need new cameras, and we're gonna.
Yes.
It is like, I don't know. Take it away from me.
I'm not a man of authority. Jackie's been hit in the face with that like too many times.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
one
kinda-
more, and I think she's gonna be mad.
I turned the corner
Not funny,
yesterday
man.
and hit her with one, and I had it on auto whatever. I'm not a 2A guy. What do you call it?
Safety?
No, the other
Automatic?
one. Automatic.
It was like, brrr.
Yeah. And
It goes like this.
and it's just not very accurate like that. And like the first bullet just drilled her in the face. I was like, fuck. Single shot, a little more accurate, but it's a good game.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're a weirdo.
Ew, so much hair on that.
Yesterday I saw, I feel like I always have homeless man stories. It was a guy, okay, he had like one of those accordion fold binders with a bunch of lemon slices in it. And so for the past 24 hours I've been thinking, is he trying to organize his lemon slices? First of all. Second of all, maybe like he just wanted to store his lemon slices somewhere. And like that just happened to be the only container he could find. Yeah. How's he slicing a lemon? Like, I guess it's not a crazy thought that he would have a knife, but like, what's the purpose of you even? Like, that's a crooked ass shit to do. You know,
that's crazy.
Dude, just a accordion binder of lemons is awesome. It's so cool. Some real Charlie Day shit.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say.
Like he walked into a meeting and they're like, Charlie, take out the paper.
What's in your paper?
He's like, no, these are lemons.
And it's like also like the trope of like cricket with the lemon slice. You know, it's like, but and like he was literally shuffling his like lemon slices. I was like, are you reorganizing? I honestly, I
he,
trust
sitting on the
he-
corner?
This was honestly nearby where it's like on the.
Yeah, but I'm saying he was just on the street.
He's on the street corner. Yeah. But I almost like trusted. He was so like, it was so organized where I'm like, you have a system with your lemon slices.
Well,
That-
I mean,
he would be
as a girl who
offended
just
if
tried
you
to
thought it
organize
was-
2,000 bananas, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I get
I
it.
respect it.
What if he offered you one? Take it?
I'd be like, which letter
I
can I
offer you
take from that?
a lemon in this trying time.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. I don't
No,
need
John,
legal
I probably
documents.
wouldn't take it.
No, I might. The guy takes great care
Taking
of
a
his
stray
lemons.
lemon? I don't think putting lemons in accordion folders is that good of taking care of lemons.
Yeah, I don't think
he
it is.
clearly has an order. He's
Yeah, but it's not like a Tupperware or something.
Look, when I
Yeah.
cut up a lemon, there's nonsense to it. I don't know what's happening with the lemons.
He's all business.
He knows what he's doing. He's got a plan for his lemons.
You got
Yeah.
no plan.
My lemon,
Your lemons are just planless.
Can I
It's
tell you
just
something? Most lemons I cut up, I throw in the trash because it's always
wasteful of lemons.
It's always part of the recipe.
Yeah,
but I don't
you
really
need one squeeze and then the
I
rest
don't-
goes away.
But I don't even do that because I'm like, that's not gonna do anything.
Oh, I love a lemon. I love lemon.
Yeah.
Like if there's a lemon squeeze, I'm squeezing that lemon.
But I like getting just like the concentrate because I don't like dealing with
well,
because then you run.
know what I love? Those yellow bags you put over the lemon.
Oh, I like those.
Love those.
Like a little
Catches
cheesecloth bag.
Catch all the seeds and all that shit, but you get the juice.
That's one of those like simple, underrated
Inventions. Like
whatever.
whoever made that's probably like a billionaire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Anyways,
the weirdo court. I think we'll probably need to go like full blown China here with like Black Mirror, like social scores.
Yeah.
But I think like there is levels to your weirdo, and like you need to like you carry around like your cell phone like lights up blue if you're like kind of a weirdo, and like red is like you're a super weirdo. You know what I mean?
Reds, you've been convicted of rape.
Yo, you are so weird. You're a rapist. Because it's like I don't want again like that one time I like was really like I went on a first date and I was awkward versus like I'm a total deviant weirdo.
Yeah.
It's like we got to know these things.
Yeah.
So like it's just like it's like regular court. It's like you've been convicted to like probation versus like life in prison. It's like there's levels to it. It's like you were kind of weird. You're on weird probation. I don't think you can get voted out of your neighborhood, and I don't even necessarily think you need to go around announcing it like a sexual like a pedophile does. But I think like your mailbox should have a flag on it like you're kind of a weirdo. And if you're cool, like your mailbox is a different color, and it's like, oh, you're like I'll be friends with this neighbor.
it should be something you could look up.
And I also think you need to be able to earn your way out of it. Like I've been not weird for like 6 straight months. It erases my one weird thing.
I like weirdo court too.
Weirdo court's great. I almost think you need to mix in maybe a little bit of weirdos like in your jury though. Like you kind of. It's like I don't like the weirdos, but they deserve to be heard on some level, or maybe a reformed weirdo or whatever. It's like a jury of your peers. It's like you got to make sure you have the right mix of races and creeds and all that. It can't just be normies because we'd all be like, kill them, put them, isolate them, get rid of them. So, but weirdo court that'll be a part of my KFC 2024 weirdo court coming your way.
What's good? KFC fights, all y'all. Long time. I was listening to the Cleopatra thing on the last episode. It made me think, right? Like, I'll just get straight to it, right? If you could, with anybody in history, have just like a one-night stand and just go back. Like, you go back. They don't go to you. You go back to them. Like, you get to choose the year. You get to choose when they're in their prime, all that shit. Who would it be? Like, I'm pretty sure I've had this conversation with my friends before, and, like, we've gotten some weird answers before. But, like, I feel like there's a lot of baddies back in the day. Like, I feel like there's a lot that if I could just go back one time, like, I would. So I'm curious, who would be, like, your one-night stand in all of history? All right, peace.
I got an answer.
I got a lot of answers. Like, Helen of Troy is...
That was my answer. Yeah. I gotta see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah.
Like, you launched a fucking war, like a legendary, like, thousands of people lost their lives over you. You must have been something.
Yeah.
Or I want to be like, you guys were crazy. This bitch is just like totally normal. Like,
you should like we got thousands of her in 2024.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, maybe this was a big deal in ancient Greece, but like, she gives bad head, dude. I don't know what was the fuss. Helen of Troy has no ass. Like, but that was my historical one, was for sure her.
I think Helen of Troy. I had, there's Cleopatra, Medusa, sure, all those guys.
I'm not fucking with Medusa.
I fuck with Medusa.
You definitely fuck with Medusa. You would risk turning to stone for a chance of that.
I'd be like, I want eye contact. I want eye contact.
Yeah, she has snakes for hair, and if you look at her, you turn to stone.
No, I know. I just know, like. No.
I would fuck. I gotta go. I gotta put Marilyn Monroe on the list.
Marilyn Monroe, sure.
I've actually looked at, like, that's something that, like, people said it was almost a superpower. Like, she would be incognito and be like, do you want me to turn the Marilyn on? And then, like, all of a sudden they would be walking the same thing, and, like, everyone would just look at her.
I believe it.
Like,
really?
Like, oh my God, I want an aura like that.
Yeah. I for sure. I mean, she had, like, some of the most baller men ever at her fingertips.
Right.
You know? Like, and I mean, a lot of girls can do that, but when you have like JFK, Joe DiMaggio, Frank Sinatra, like all those guys, like you were doing something.
It was something.
Yeah.
Oh, Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, throat coat.
Yeah.
Nancy
But
Reagan.
I don't want to. Yeah, I'd be like, Nancy, you're just sucking my dick. That's it. I am not reciprocating to Nancy Reagan.
There's also like Abe Lincoln.
Naturally.
I think Abe Lincoln had the worst dick game in the world.
Dude.
I think fucking Abe Lincoln is one of the worst guys you can fuck. He's all tall and gangly and like.
I think
You think Abe Lincoln like threw down?
I don't know. I think I'm just thinking this because of the new play, Oh Mary. But the Abe Lincoln was gay. Abe Lincoln was gay.
Was he
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that.
There's no, aside from Mary and his kids, there's no evidence of him being straight his entire life. Like, he lived with guys like for like 4-year stretches. Like, he's a gay guy.
That's good.
Abe Lincoln was gay, and
So that's why you're into him.
But like, I just think it would be sick. I don't even care about the fucking. But like, in fact, I'm like, it would be dope to like anytime
Bro,
Abe
let me
Lincoln.
just tell you, the thought of you fucking Abe Lincoln is so horrendous.
But
Just like giving Abe back shots. Oh
I don't
my!
think that,
A
like,
little
Abe
footstool?
is like the...
Still has the hat on. He's got the hat and the beard, and
But
you're
like,
just blowing
wouldn't
his
it be
back
sick?
out.
Like, anytime like Abe Lincoln comes up pretty often. Abe Lincoln's a pretty still discussed person. Like, wouldn't it be sick? Just like anytime I was like, oh, I fucked him.
Oh, Abe, yeah. No, Abe sucked my dick. Or how about Kennedy had that thing with his buddy. Remember what?
Yeah.
Remember Kennedy said, like, his best friend, like, I'll allow you to suck my dick, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to suck your dick. I would probably let JFK let me suck his dick. That's cool. I agree with that. Who would it be for a guy?
I mean, Paul Walker was the first one that came to mind.
That's a
Obviously.
great one. Paul Walker's probably the hottest guy who ever lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any historical people?
I'm like so bad at history too. I don't really even know.
Also, to speak up here real quick, if I did go back in time and fuck Abe Lincoln,
Let's just go back to Abe real quick. I just want to
Yeah,
clarify
I
a couple
guess
things.
I'd take the credit. I'd be like, I'm the one who told him to free the slave.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a
We were doing a little pillow
There's
talk.
a little pillow talk.
Yeah.
I was like, Abe, I think all humans are humans. He'd be like, you know what? That's not so bad an idea.
Let me write this address for you real quick.
Like if I went back, what if I went back in time and fucked Abe Lincoln and I told him and I was like, hey, just so you know, because like homosexuality didn't become a thing I think till like the 17th century, maybe no 19th century.
Well, I mean, the Greeks were fucking.
But like
the idea, like in
I was like,
society.
hey, you know, your people are going to be persecuted.
You want to be on the
too.
right.
And
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. They're not exactly work in the field types, but they're gonna have their own issues. Like, they're right. We gotta stop this. I would take so much credit for freeing the slaves if I fucked Abe Lincoln.
Oh, man.
I think for guys, you'd have to go. I think Sinatra and Kennedy are two heavy hitters. I think I would pick George Washington. I think he was. I just think he was.
That's one that it's kind of like that's gross.
I think it's going to be gross, but like
gross.
I think he was like when you're 6'3" and everyone else is like 5'3", and you're the general and the president and all that shit. I think he was just like the big swinging dick.
Yeah,
he was the man.
I think about who's the guy. I don't know really why I think about him a lot, but who's the guy who like they tried to kill him like 8 times, and he just wouldn't die. They like would shoot.
What he was a political
like death
guy,
row.
He was like almost a political guy. He was like
50 Cent?
He was like fucking. Wait, what's his name? It's not Rasputin. It's.
Oh wow, we're going deep.
Maybe it is Rasputin.
Rasputin?
I don't know enough about Rasputin.
Yeah, I don't know, but they like tried to kill him and like he just wouldn't die, and I think that's kind of hot.
Yeah. Jackie's like, that's the only kind of people I can fuck.
He was shot 3 times.
Rasputin?
Yeah.
That's probably him then.
But they also like then
to poison him.
They tried to poison him,
yeah,
and then even when he was shot 3 times, then they threw him in the lake, and then like when they looked at his body, it's like he didn't even die from the gunshots. It was like he died from just like drowning at the bottom of the ocean.
Really?
So
He was
survived.
that dude. He was
and
gangster.
there was something else too before then, like earlier in his life. Somebody tried to shoot him again.
Do you know all this? Because I believe there's a Rasputin movie coming out. Is that why you know this, or do you just know?
It's
Jackie
just-
masturbates to this. She reads Rasputin's
Yeah.
Wikipedia and gets
I've
all.
been trying to fuck him for years. I literally don't know anything about history, but that was.
I mean,
like,
Rasputin's a deep cut. That was a good pull.
I'm googling to make sure there is a movie, but I think Willem Dafoe stars in a Rasputin movie
Really?
coming out. Yeah.
All right, last voicemail.
Sup, Fights, Jackie, Kevin, the whole gang. First time, long time. So I'm currently following my girlfriend in a U-Haul, and she's a very like independent woman, you know, like love her to death. I respect that. Love it when she kind of takes the reins, and we're moving cross country right now, so she's kind of wanting to like step up and, you know, do the things that she normally wouldn't do, and driving a giant U-Haul right now is one of them. And driving in a place where we haven't been before, and just watching her almost hit like 4 cars on a street and take like 5 wrong turns because she wants to be, you know, how she put it, useful. That's her words, not mine. My question for you guys is, you know how girls do that, like it gives you the ick thing? Is there a guy version of that where their girlfriend or someone they like or have a crush on like does something that's just like, oh fuck? Yeah, I guess that's my question for
when
you
you
guys.
see their
Is there
underpants.
like a version for guys? Because watching your girl do
When you
something
see the
like
underpants in the laundry. What's going on
Love
there?
you guys.
Jesus Christ.
That's what's just happening down there all day.
That's such a fair one.
That's why laundry became a stereotypically women thing.
Yeah.
Girls were like,
No,
don't
you can't see it,
do
you
the
can't see it.
laundry.
I've
Yeah.
actually had that thought before. Like, I wouldn't even want anybody, like a man, like ever touching anything.
You should
Even just
not.
like a T-shirt that I've worn, like the amount of spray tan stuff on it is just like it looks like I'm melting off. On it.
Dude, the U-Haul thing, right? It's probably my favorite Family Guy clip. I know they have a lot of like timeless ones. There's the Italian salad is great. The pizza salad, whatever you call a pizza shop, they just cut a head of lettuce in half and a tomato in half, and they throw it in like any pizza. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But the U-Haul clip. Where it's a guy driving a U-Haul on the highway, just running cars off the road, and he just leans out the window and he's like, "Sorry, I'm making a go of it in a new city." Yeah. Like anyone who drives a U-Haul.
I mean, it's crazy that like you think you can do it. It's very, very hard. It's very different than driving a car. You can't see out of the back. Like it is very fucking hard to do it. So when your girl is like, I just want to be useful, it's like this is probably going to be worse than you being not useful.
Yeah,
you know?
I've never driven it long. We drove from New York to Boston once.
Yeah, with the couch.
So
just buying a couch in Boston.
And I drove it once. I was moving to Boston. I was kind of on Molly, and
kind of on Molly.
We were moving, and I just found a pill, and I was like, "Should I take it?" And I was like, yeah, it was Molly. It was like 7 a.m. I was like, "Fuck, it's gonna be a long day." So it was now midnight, so I wasn't really on Molly anymore, but I was driving a U-Haul.
That's very funny.
And it was on Star Drive. If you're from Boston, like you can't. It's a very like it's gonna happen today. Like they move it like end of August is a big moving day. And
moving
someone
day.
always will crash. Like we all don't fit on Star Drive, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm on Star Drive," and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had an exit before I got to a bridge.
Everybody
but,
hits it.
Everyone will crash into.
Yep.
Well, not everyone, but every time there's a moving day, someone will hit a bridge on Star Drive and back everything up.
I think the male ick is.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like girls will almost like run tests on guys.
Yeah, that's stupid. I hate that
Do
shit.
guys do that for girls at all?
I think that's such a dangerous game where it's like, I was testing you and it's like you passed or failed. It's like, fuck you.
Not necessarily like on purpose test, but it's
like something occurred and we're gonna watch. I'm gonna see how you handled it. Yeah. I mean, that's yes. I think if you get food at a restaurant and it's not cooked to your liking and you like flip out about it, it's like I didn't like set up this test, but this was a test that came up and you didn't handle it well.
Yeah.
But I think if you do anything to like set that up or like do it on purpose, you suck.
Yeah, I've had like, hey, can you do me this favor? And then they don't do it, and I get mad about it internally.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it wasn't a setup. I just asked you to do something for me because I was busy or whatever, and then you didn't do it, and that kind of pissed me off. It wasn't a grand plan to see something. It's just like
girls don't really do things.
Yeah.
If you ask them to do things, they don't really do things.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's like girls do all out of their shit, but I feel like guys don't really often ask.
Yeah, that's why you remember favors. It. Because like,
and then
I
when
never
you do,
would
it's
ask.
like, can you do it? Yeah. It's like the one time that will be like, I need a little help. And then if you don't do it, it's like, well, that was like my one ask for the last decade. So it's probably gonna stick in my brain for a long fucking time.
But I feel like girls are always the ones like doing stuff in relationships.
That's what I mean. Like you do like all the shit that you do.
But when you need stuff.
But if I need maybe something else.
And ask.
Yeah.
Ask.
I just think that it usually
We'll work on it. Sorry.
At the next
I'll talk
meeting,
to the gals. We'll figure it out.
The next meeting, you can bring it up. The guys say, do their favors.
The ick's so hard to do because like, ick is such a perfect word for it. Like I can't think of anything.
I mean, anytime,
like
every time you eventually break up with someone, they've done something or a string of things to make you feel like I don't want to be around you anymore.
Yeah.
Ick is a little more specific than that, where it's like you give me the heebie-jeebies, but like
I also think ick. It feels like most of icks are men being or looking
feminine.
Not particularly masculine.
Yes.
Whereas
like you jumped over the
like
curve.
There's a lot of like masculinity is so tightly defined that there's a lot of ways to slip out from that.
Yeah.
Whereas I think femininity is a lot broader, and maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But like
it's hard.
You can
it's also hard for a girl to like all of a sudden look like not a girl.
Right. Like you'd have to do something really extreme, like lift 1,000 pounds.
Right.
Like, that's a little manly.
Right. But there could be a funny version of that. Like if I saw a girl do like, I think I would like it actually, but if a girl did like one trip from the car with all the grocery bags and was just like walking like a strong man and like plopped them down, I'd either get the ick or I'd like get down on one knee, one way or the other,
but I also feel like there's like this like perfect little dainty, thing that we have to like try and be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like fart or some shit, that's gonna get a lot of guys icks.
Yeah.
If you're in the bathroom and it's
probably something about eating. Like if you ate like that thing that it's probably not much of a trend anymore, but like girls or guys, couples filming themselves trying to match the speed that their partner eats at.
Yeah. Oh.
Like
I found that one strange. I
haven't
feel like
seen
those guys eat fucking fast, but I guess you
I was
would
gonna
do
say
that.
it's all I see now.
Yeah.
Like every time I'm eating next to a girl, I'm like, I'm done. You've had 2 bites.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I think I might be more like a girl on that one though. I'm not
You
wolfing
are.
things down.
Yeah.
But I've also been on
talking.
dates. Like I say that, like it might. I've been on dates with chicks who just fucking whack wings. I don't care.
If a chick's wiping it.
I noticed, but it didn't really bother me.
Well, that's the ultimate thing. Is at the end of the day, it's like, okay, that was weird. Let's go fuck.
Yeah.
Whereas girls will be like, I
Yeah.
never want to talk to you again. That's the problem.
Watching Love Island makes me feel better about like icks and everything because as like a viewer, there's a point throughout the season where you hate. There's like every character you hate at some point, or not hate, but you're just kind of like you get the ick from them a little bit, and then they can come back around. Like you
Yeah.
can. There's always like
Well, yeah, it's like icks are just like little things that are like harmless that the person didn't do on purpose that women throw you to the fucking curb over. And it's like, oh, maybe I should have given that guy a second chance because he tied his shoes bunny ears instead of, that would be one for me. if you tied bunny ears.
Historically, the number one thing a girl can do to give you the ick is fuck you. You're like, yeah, all right, think about done with that.
yeah, that's like the ultimate. Like you guys like after you fuck. It's,
Yeah. It's not an ick. It's just, well, that's what I came for.
yeah. That's
Your
why
brain,
it's like,
you don't realize it, and then your brain kind of betrays you. You're like, fuck. I don't want to feel this way, but I definitely am not into you anymore. or it's like
Do you
not
want me
be
to
the
be honest
same.
about my emotions?
Yeah,
Not so into you anymore.
That's the problem. It's like when they're like when girls are like, I just be honest. It's like, okay, I was really, really into you, and I thought I was like in love with you, and then we fucked, and everything changed.
But why?
I don't know. It's biological. It's fucking chemical. It's.
I mean,
like,
I have had that where guys not like related like fucking, but I'm just like all of a sudden like.
I think I think there is actually something biological where it's like we're supposed to fuck multiple women. It's like, all right, that one checked off the list.
I'll tell the girls about this in the meeting too. Say, listen,
Let them know.
We're fucked.
All right, we have to change biology. All right, show over.
You know what I just found outside my house? Deer bones, okay? The vertebrae of a deer. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that there's some coyote that's eating up my precious baby deers and just leaving the bones near my door. I don't know if there's some sort of cult who's doing animal sacrifices. I don't know if there's some sort of burglars leaving a calling card. All I do know is that I got to get Simply Safe installed immediately to find out what's going on. I don't know whether I'm fighting against humans or ghosts or ghouls or demons, but I will find out with Simply Safe because they are the best in-home monitoring. 24/7 protection against floods and fires and burglars and other natural disasters. They have their Fast Protect monitoring system, which means after an alarm, they will respond in 5 seconds. Right now, when you sign up for simplysafe.com, use promo code KFC Radio, you get 20% off your first month when you sign up for that Fast Protect monitoring systems. That's Simply Safe, SIMPLI, safe.com. Use promo code KFC Radio to get 20% off your first month of protection. Hot out there. Yeah.
Bro, it's the worst.
Yeah. So, are we running? I'm just ready to rock. Yeah? Yep. I'm over the summer, and I've been over it for a long time, but 90 degrees. I just came back from like a summer trip, too, like a week off. Now I'm really done. It's like, all right, I've done my summer things, you know? And we'll talk all about your project in a second. I got to get this off my chest. If you don't mind holding.
Thanks for coming. I'm going to complain about the weather.
Let me just tell you something what happened to me. I'm an Irish guy. I'm pretty fair-skinned, but I used to be able to get tan. I would burn sometimes, get tan sometimes. As I got older, I can't be in the sun. This trip, something happened to me, bro. And I Googled it, trying to figure out like what was going on, and I narrowed down what I had. Do you want to know what I had? What it was called?
Please.
There's 3 different terms for it. Most commonly known as Hell's Itch, aka the Devil's Itch, aka Suicide Itch. What does
that mean?
It means like it's not like when you get a sunburn, it's just like topical, like something on your skin's reacting. This is like your body's like internal allergy. It's like an allergy. I have an allergy to the sun, basically.
Great.
My skin wasn't even red. I put on my skin was not red, and it was itching so much. I was up till like 3 a.m. I took like a 2-hour shower in the middle of the night.
And
then I wake up in the morning, my kid's like, let's go to the beach. And I was like, no!
Do you have the proper apparel? Like, are you out by the pool dressed like a beekeeper?
I've got yes. I'm like one step away from like a hijab. Like I'm going to show like nothing but my eyes. I got a big hat. I got a sun shirts on, a hood on. I keep my pants on. I go to the beach like dressed like this, but with a long sleeve shirt.
Do you go gloves? Are the hands exposed?
Bro, I'm at the point where if you will give me something to cover my skin in the sun, I'm fucking doing it.
I mean, kudos to you for not coming back absolutely scorched, though.
Well, I just stayed the fuck out. I was like, I went to the beach the first 2 days. The last like 4 days, I just hung inside with my kids. I was like, you want to play video games? We can do that all day long.
Looking around, this is a pretty fair skin.
Yeah,
crew.
we are.
Like, yeah.
I mean, I'm watching people on the beach who are putting on like oil. You know, like not even trying to stop the sun. They're trying to like enhance the sun.
Yeah, we feel you.
Dude,
a fisherman spots another fisherman from afar.
We had, I don't know if you know the comedian Miss Pat. It's like one of my highlights of the show.
Yeah.
She came on one time and she sat down and she looks at me and she goes, "What are you?" And I was like,
a man?
What do you mean? And she's like, "What are you?" And I said, "I'm white." And she goes, "Nah, honey, you pink." I was like, "Yeah, you got me there. All right, I'm pink."
That was great, man.
I'm very happy to have you guys here.
Yeah, happy to be
here. Yeah.
Is the new movie on Netflix. I watched it. It's awesome, and I've always wanted to sit down with people who write like a high school party movie because I want to know the I guess the research that goes into it. Like I don't want to give away spoilers, but there's one scene where you make a specific choice. And the kids aren't snorting cocaine. They're snorting ketamine. Are the high school? Is that what high school kids are doing?
I don't know.
You watched a couple of episodes of Euphoria and made some changes to the script.
We went to a lot of high school parties and just observed from outside, and we're just like, "What do you think that's in there? What's going on?"
That's not cocaine. I know that much. We did have a real conversation when we wrote that because we'd never done ketamine, and we're like, "I feel like we got to get some ketamine and do it."
Okay. Yeah. Write it off as a business.
Yeah.
Business
I
meeting.
have since done ketamine. I'm happy to report, but it.
Did you like it?
Did you do it, or did you like microdose it? You did.
I did it.
You did it. Okay.
I did.
Like you were in a K-hole.
Oh yeah. Well, I wouldn't say the K-hole. I took it easy. I dipped my toe in the water, but yeah, no, it wasn't for me.
I knew kids in high school were doing ketamine. Like my friends were doing. I was like, I'm still drinking like 40s of malt liquor, thinking I was badass, and they were like, "Do you want some ketamine?" I was like, "Is that a horse tranquilizer?"
I did ketamine for the first time recently, and I did it in an inhaler form.
Yeah,
it was
very
awesome.
They made it pretty
good stuff.
I will say this: whoever does ketamine's PR, magic.
Ketamine's having a moment for
Moment.
sure.
I mean, it used to be like meth, mescaline, and ketamine. Speed. Like, stay away from that. And now it's like your doctor will prescribe you ketamine.
Yeah.
Just get that shit on the internet.
Funded mostly by big ketamine.
I give you credit for trying it though, because I feel like a phony having never tried it and written
writing about it. Yeah.
Well, you are.
You're authentic. You're the real deal.
You also wrote Two Dudes Banging in the Closet.
We did do that.
That was John.
That was mine.
That's why you're a duo. You know? I'll do the ketamine. You
Those guys were great though, because they came in and then we shot the scene and we could tell one of them was like, okay, and you have an intimacy coordinator on set for all this.
Right.
And we could tell he was uneasy, though he wasn't saying anything. And we were like, hey, man, are you okay? What's the problem? And he was like, I just do whatever you want, but if you could not show my face, that'd be cool. I'm like, why did you take this job, man?
Yeah.
But we did cut it in a way that we didn't expose his
He
face.
made that
because-
request?
Yeah, it was just like...
I
is it
feel like
not-
you get like canceled over shit like that. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It was a reasonable request. It was weird to have it like after he's showing up for the job.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty clear about what
Did
it
you
would
read the
entail.
script? You know the character?
You had no lines, by the way.
You're the gay guy in the class. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think he was maybe a little worried because we did a few takes. We were like, "Will you throw like devil horns to the camera on this one?" And he would do that, and then we decided, like, all right, that's a little crazy.
It's funny
I guess when you're young, I don't know how old this person was, but I guess when you're young, you don't want that to be you're
He's
like
not young.
thing.
He's not,
You can't get a young kid to come in and do that. This guy
Let's
is-
make it very clear.
Yeah.
Was not a young kid on the set.
Which, by the way, it shows on screen. Like, why are two 35-year-old men getting in there?
like, damn, that high school kid's
The best we
They
could
don't really
do.
look like that in high school, I don't think. But okay.
Dude,
That's funny.
I remember it was like when we were in like early college, my buddy had gotten dumped and his girlfriend started dating a model. And we would always make fun of him, like, she picked a hotter model, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Not hotter model, hotter upgrade.
Supportive friend.
And then that kid got his like big breakout role was a commercial where he was doing herpes medication. And then we're like,
I'll take the other guy.
Never mind, you win now.
Yeah. God bless you.
I remember it was Catherine Blanford, the comedian on our show. Her boyfriend broke up with her and then started dating Jennifer Lawrence.
That's
And then,
tough.
like, a minute later, she fell up the stairs of the Oscars and became, like, America's darling. And
Yeah.
she was like, fuck. It's a tough one. J-Law is a tough one to beat.
Yeah.
We were talking about high school parties. The weird thing that kids did in mine was robo-tripping.
What's that?
Oh.
They would,
Drinking
dude,
a bottle of
Robitussin?
it was one kid in particular. He was a good baseball player, and he was like, he didn't want to start drinking and maybe mess up his future.
Sure.
So I was like, dude, this is so much worse than having like a fucking
beers.
Bud Light or two.
Yeah.
Is he would start every party. It was like it's actually kind of cool where he was like the kickoff of the party.
Yeah,
And
like,
he would just stand up and chug a bottle of Robitussin.
Jesus.
And we'd be like, let's go.
And he made it to the majors. This is Shohei Ohtani, or
And then Shohei
Just
Ohtani
checking.
came over to America. We had a kid who drank Listerine, and like we had like an intervention as 7th graders. We were like, John, you got to stop doing this. He would drink a bottle of Listerine.
Yeah, I remember Tylenol PM going around like,
Yeah.
don't go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, well,
You gotta fight it. You gotta fight it, man. I'm in the corner.
I went to a school where we had like it was a boarding school, so we had like infirmary on campus and all this kind of stuff. And if you got caught drinking, they'd spit test you to figure out if you had alcohol or not. So we had all these weird things in our rooms that we thought would kind of beat the system.
spit bucket.
Like we had,
I was thinking, if you told me that you had like spit on deck to like fake spit, I would be like, stop telling
we
the
had a
story.
clean
I
spit.
need clean spit.
Yeah.
Who's got clean
The
spit?
resonator of spit.
Dude, we had jars. Everyone had jars of peanut butter sitting on their desk in their dorm, and it was just we thought
I would think that would work.
we would put a handful of peanut butter in our mouths. And it never had to happen, so we don't really know if it works or not. But we'd have a handful.
You were ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And a penny under your tongue.
The penny,
I've
that
heard
was
the
a
penny.
thing.
That was- all right, you knew that.
Have you
Yeah,
ever
you
heard
get
of
pulled over for drunk driving.
Yes.
Just
Do you ever,
handful of pennies into your mouth.
charcoal pills?
Charcoal pills.
Charcoal pills. I was in a car once that I should not have been in with a person that should not have been driving, and he showed me them, and we all kind of took them. He took it, I think, preventatively in case something happened. We were all like, "Fuck it, let's all do it." We pulled up to the diner for like late night food. I remember, God, like 5 of us spill out of this car, and we just have charcoal all over our lips and teeth. We're like, "What's up, guys?" And they were like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Precautionary charcoal. Not,
The cops won't know we've been drinking.
I recently was getting really into charcoal as like a hangover cure, and then one of my buddies who's a doctor just started like forwarding me all this medical research saying like that does nothing. It's actually probably worse for your hangover.
I'm sure.
And I was just like, all right, fine.
I remember my buddy's sister is a nurse, and her telling us like, just drink fucking water.
yeah,
It's just
it
water.
really is that.
Water and time, man.
Like, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like all of this shit that's going on right now, I hope at least, is all fake science. I want like a doctor to come out and be like, ice baths don't do anything, sunlight doesn't do anything. I definitely need sunlight to not do anything. All these things that these internet, influencers are saying to do.
We are
All of
living
it's
in a
trash.
world. There's no
Yes.
way the ice bath. I mean, it doesn't have to be that cold.
It's also gotten to be like, all right, you pop in, you get your muscles cold, whatever.
sure.
These people are like, I stay in it for 24 hours. It's
Well, also, like
okay.
my friends who are into it, they're talking about like I'm just running a peak like operation now, and I'm just like, dude, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're doing okay.
Right.
Like you're
What's
not
so-
Elon
are you in the
Musk
Olympics or something?
Yeah.
That's what I don't get.
Slightly
If you
better
are,
shape than
Yes.
me.
yeah.
Well, I think it's like people see like The Rock is into ice baths, and they're just like, well, that's what I need to do.
Right.
So
Look at
then I can
yourself.
be
You're not
that
the
guy.
fucking Rock.
Yeah.
These guys are also on all sorts of other shit that it's like, unless you are, LeBron James sleeps in like a cryogenic chamber, and then
Yeah.
he goes and he bees.
He does LeBron James. Yes. You don't need to do that to go to your desk job, dude.
No, but I think people believe, if I just need the chamber, bro. If I just get the chamber, then
it's
I'm
all
dialed.
placebo.
I remember once I went to like a Turkish maybe bathhouse downtown.
Go on.
And it was one of those ones where like, you go to the schwitz room for however much time and you jump in the ice bath. And then you go into this room, which is a little hotter, and then you jump back in the ice bath. And it was actually, I will say this, the communal experience was fantastic. Everyone was like so eager to help the new guy and stuff like that.
John was like, don't show my face.
Talk more about the communal experience at the bathhouse.
They look great. I'm just worried I'd get in one of those Eastern Promises naked fist fights.
Right? Yeah.
I don't need that.
Dude,
They whip you with those.
that was exactly the guy who like.
I don't want to get whipped. I want to be naked and getting whipped with leaves from an Eastern European guy.
It was exactly like that. Like it really, like this dude had like big angel wings tattoos on his back, and he's like, "I'll show you around." And I was like, "All right." And then he's like, "You want to lay here? And I'll beat you with these leaves." And he's like, "It puts the heat into your bones." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And as he's standing there, I'm laying face down in this thing, and he's like, "Yeah, when I started doing this, I realized this is better than cocaine, so I got sober." And I was like, "I don't think you're doing the right cocaine."
This is definitively not as good as cocaine.
Technician came up like, "Get out of here, you animal!" Sorry, that guy keeps sneaking in here, beating the customers.
Talking about the bones. I don't know what he's doing. That guy got fired the next day.
Yeah. I think you're doing ketamine, brother.
That's funny. About the movie, I feel like it's almost become. I think there was some truth to it, and then it kind of got a little bit exaggerated. And I don't know where we are now. The idea of like the comedy movies are like dead.
Yeah,
that like the big budget, big name, Will Ferrell type in the 40-year-old Judd Apatow type movies in the early 2000s, and then I almost think it became kind of like a cliche. Everyone was saying that. And then it was like, no, there's this movie and that movie, and I do think there's less of them. But did you guys ever do you feel that way? Did you write this with a purpose, or was it just like we're going to make a comedy? And
I think we wrote it with the purpose of we don't feel like there's a lot of comedies being made, and certainly not as many comedies that are just like 95-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle. Like,
so you do believe, because I do believe in that too. That like
it's definitely
we're
harder,
missing something.
but I think good will always find its way.
Right.
Through. I think. You hope.
Yeah.
But we did set out to write because we wanted to write a script. It was pandemic, and we were talking about what ideas we had, and we just decided like that's the dumbest one we have. Like that is just pure funny. Like let's just do that. That sounds fun to write.
Movies were yelling at us at the time. Like everything had a message or a lesson, and we just you've come to the wrong place if you're trying to get that from us.
Amen, bro.
So we set out to write something.
What's the runtime on this movie?
It's like 88 minutes.
I was gonna say 90 minutes is what I like. Would think of it. That's what funny movies should be. Every movie, even great movies that we liked in that era, are like 2 hours 15 minutes for a fucking comedy. It's like I don't need that.
At one point,
man.
we were worried it was going to come in at like 64.
This is just an episode of television.
Just like, do we have a car chase we can put in here or something? Just fill a little time.
That's great. Call it Game of Thrones writers. They'll give you some filler.
People are upset about that one last night.
Yeah, I didn't stick with House of Dragon. I watched Thrones, but
it was
I
so
didn't
bad.
stick with Game of Thrones. So
no,
did you? You jumped out?
I never really watched. I feel like I would watch like the pilot every now and then because everyone was watching it, and then by the time I felt like I needed to watch it, everyone was just like, it
sucks.
Skip it.
Well, even last night in this finale, they just the cheapest of pops, which I'm okay with, but one of the guys has a vision, and they showed the White Walkers, and they showed Daenerys getting her 3 dragons, and they're just like, we're going to throw a Game of Thrones pop in there, which is cool. But then I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is all building towards a terrible ending. So I'm fucking out now. But so the comedy, like.
Vince Vaughn just had a cool quote about that when he was on Hot Ones.
I saw that.
He said something along the lines of like, "It'll come back. Like everything's cyclical."
But I feel like it's been a long time. It's been a while. Those movies are like 20 years old.
Yeah, but like I watched The Campaign last night. That's like
that's
2010s.
I feel like they're one-offs where it used to be like you're getting this one and a sequel and a trilogy, and every summer there was one. But it also makes it all the better when when you get a fun one and you have that like coming of age.
I think so. People look for star power. There's all sorts of things that you like need to check the boxes of.
Yeah.
I mean, credit to the producers of this movie who were just like, we like it, we'll make it, let's go. Mm-hmm. And that was outside the big studio system. So,
do you think star power is actually interesting? Because that was the next question I was going to ask. Like, do you think there is someone right now who is kind of like of that ilk of like where you're like that can be a leading man in comedy?
I'm sure there is, but like for this particular movie, we really didn't want that. You know, we didn't want you to recognize too many of the characters. The gal in the back of the car who has the accident, she's a massive social media star.
Okay.
Lauren Gray.
Got it.
Love her forever. Such a gamer in this one.
That scene was like,
I
was watching that with a friend, and she was like she was getting visibly nauseous.
Yeah, she's cool with us for
the opposite of the guy saying, "Don't put my face in."
Yes. Oh no, she would roll up to set it.
Tesla.
We'd just be like, "Can we get the peanut butter for Lauren?" And just like cover her in head to toe. Probably the least lucrative thing she's ever done.
Yeah. Great sport.
Yeah.
I did love what you said too, though, about like where you like everything had a message. Where I think that was for a while, and I don't know if I credit him, but I think like Tim Robinson was kind of the first time we were like, it's just dumb. It's just funny. It's just dumb. Like there isn't really
just laugh
a point to this. It's just silly.
Yeah, I feel like stand-ups and just like those kinds of comedians they don't have to navigate the system like writers.
But they
do,
sometimes do. Like even the comics who you think are like these are like these are comics who come from like the clubs and the streets, and it's just funny, and then even they're talking about their message and shit. It's like but yeah, to just be like, that's it. The movie just ends, and there's no,
and it just
there's
sort
no,
of ends.
yeah.
Well, I think like that was the cool thing about like working on Always Sunny is like we'd come to them sometimes. We'd be like, we can't do this, can we? And Rob would just be like, sure, we
why
can.
not?
Why not?
Well, he had a great quote too recently. I can't remember what it was, but he quote tweeted somebody saying that like comedy's dead, and he was like,
Seinfeld. He had the thing with
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld's the king of complaining about it.
So I love Rob taking shots at Seinfeld.
That's got to be great for business. But yeah, I think his quote tweet was something along the lines of like, "We're doing season 17 over here," like
Well, he said you can't make fun of like homeless people or whatever.
Right.
Rickety. He's like, can you though?
I remember that was great. He was on our show probably 3 years ago or something like that. And he was talking about, I think we asked him, like, how does Sonny still do whatever they want? And he had like kind of one of my favorite responses where he was like, I think watching the show, where our heart is.
100%.
And yes, we make fun of, I feel like when people say things like, I make fun of everybody, there's always a specific, because they always say it in defense of something. Like,
yes.
Well, I can tell you make fun of this group a lot more.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. I don't know what group of people Sonny makes fun of the most.
No, there's definitely an unspoken agreement between those guys in the audience that like they're not the pieces of shit that they portray.
Right.
But I also think it's a credit to them for like, they're not. You don't really see them. I mean, now as they've grown, you see them outside of the show. Mm-hmm. But even when it was just them as the actors, I don't know, you just kind of knew that maybe because they linked up with Danny DeVito or however they did it, it was like you just know that these guys are just fucking around.
Yeah. Yes.
And with other people, sometimes you're not so sure. It's like you're a comedian and you're going for a joke, but I also think you believe some of that shit you're saying.
Well, every now and then we'd like go to a hockey game with Rob and some drunk guy would stumble up and you'd be like, I don't think he gets the joke.
He's not in on it. That has got to be, I mean, I don't think anybody ever expected it to be where it is.
No.
But like,
I mean, years ago, because we started there season 5, and like around season 9, 10, like there was loose talk about like how do we want to wrap this up? Like how do we want to put a bow on it?
That's like halfway. That's almost like halfway point.
And now it's just like go forever.
Now I almost think the joke is to go forever.
Well, it gets funnier and funnier the older they get, and they're still doing the same fucking thing.
Yeah, that's what's wild.
We're going back for the new season for the first time in like 8 years.
That starts next week, right?
Next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Not on TV. Charlie posted on Instagram that the writers' room starts next week.
I did see that, yes.
KFC Radio is sponsored by BetterHelp, which is perfect because right now your boy needs some therapy. I know that we all should be out there doing it every day, every week, working on our minds, working on our brains, the same way we work on our bodies, but I'm not that sort of guy. I think a lot of you people out there are more similar to me, where we kind of push everything down and suppress it, and then eventually it all comes to a head and we can't take it anymore and we got to get it off our chest and talk to somebody. And that's why we use BetterHelp. I use BetterHelp. You should too, because it's as easy as that. When everything comes to a head, your professional life, your personal life, your financial life, your romantic life, when everything comes to a head and it's like, oh my God, I need to talk to someone right now, BetterHelp has you covered because it's all online and they can find you a doctor like that. Match up with someone in just 24, 48 hours and you can go talk to them via text, via phone, via FaceTime, so you never have to waste any time and you can get it all out. If you don't like your doctor, you can switch to another one, no cost, and that way it makes it the simplest, best way to get therapy going as fast as possible. So go to BetterHelp.com/KFC. That's BetterHelp.com/KFC. Get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/KFC.
It's funny you say season 10 because I have a belief that, and I don't think it's like unique to me, but I think seasons 2 through 4 are your seasons.
I love hearing that. Love that.
No, not for Sonny. Like for just like for TV in general. Because I think like season 1 shows like these guys got some. Let's give them some money. Let's give them some access to stuff, and they can go a little further. And then I think usually once you get to 4, you're kind of like you've used all the writers' tricks, and like this couple has they won't they that's already happened, and they broke up or whatever. You're just kind of out of tricks after that. But Sonny, I've been rewatching it recently, and like season 10 is like what was season 10 starts off with the Wiz, right?
Is that season? I think
that's later.
You know what's crazy?
12,
I think the biggest testament to Always Sunny is, other than just their appearance and like the camera, you can't really tell what season is what. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
when you're
they're-
watching it live, you kind of you prefer certain seasons, but now they're all just one.
You
big
could be like,
mishmash,
oh, that was season 3 or 7 or
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just fucking funny. That's what it was.
Well, Fat Mac kind of helps.
Fat
me.
Mac,
Like,
yeah,
that
yeah,
gives you
There
a
are
little-
certain things
Yeah.
that's actually the like the compass of the show. Is Rob fat?
Yes,
Is he skinny?
that's where
What's
you can
going
check
on?
it. Is he absurdly jacked? Yeah.
I also think there's something to me. I think this about sports stars, and there's something to be said for these guys as well. When you start your show on like standard def, shitty camera television, and now you're watching it on like 4K. Like I was watching LeBron highlights the other day, and it's like you can't even see it's LeBron because the camera sucks so bad. And now he's like, and he's in these video games where he looks like perfect. Same thing with Sonny. It's like when you watch that first season, and it's like, you can tell it was filmed by like me with a camera.
Yeah,
and now
I love the first 2 seasons. I don't think most fans do as much.
Oh, really?
That's crazy.
Or like
disagree.
most average fans I talk to, like kind of get in after DeVito in 2, or like
Well,
even a
There
little
are
DeVito's a
fans now
big-
that weren't born for
that.
the first.
yeah, it's crazy.
I remember where I was. Like it's almost an embarrassingly important moment in my life. Like I was at a high school party, someone just chugged a bunch of Robitussin, and underage drinking a national concern was on.
That might be my favorite Sunny episode.
It like caught my eye, and I was a little older than when it came out because it was on DVD, so I hadn't heard of it yet. And I was just watching. I was like, "What is this?" And I spent the entire party just sitting there, like, changing the DVDs out and watching that show, and be like, "You guys all calm down for a second to watch whatever the fuck this is."
I was watching that show on an iPod Touch, commuting. I was going from Fordham's campus school here in the Bronx to the Upper West Side. And they have like a shuttle, and I would watch it on that. And now, I have 2 kids, and do this, and it's like, and it's still on.
Are they allowed to watch it?
No, not yet. No. I was playing a video game that was like similar to GTA the other day, Grand Theft Auto. My son is 7, and he was like, "Can I play?" And I was like, "Maybe." I was like thinking about it. I was like, "Yeah." And then there was like sex and N words, and I was like, "Nah, I don't think so." I don't think so.
Not great.
Not yet, kid.
A lot of pausing and
Yeah.
explaining.
Yeah.
What was the process like of jumping on in season 5? Like, how did that come about?
I had worked for them on season. It coincided with like season 4 of Sunny. They were doing another show called Boldly Going Nowhere, which was like Sunny in space.
I didn't know
that we wrote like 6.
The gang was.
The gang was. It never came out, but it was really, really funny.
Well, not the
I
gang
mean,
act. They were kind of acting.
They
in it, but
weren't
they were
really in it. Like David Hornsby, Cricket was in it. I think Glenn did like a bit part in the
Can
pilot.
we get this going? I mean, it would work now.
Yeah,
now everyone
great.
would.
And the scripts were so funny, and they've been
Artemis
like
was in
picked
it.
clean and repurposed for Sunny now.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think what we took from the like wine out of a can came from that show, and then when it didn't go, you're like, that's just as funny for Sunny.
That's amazing. That's
yeah, so
great.
I worked with them for that, and then I was Rob's assistant. He was my first boss out of college, and then the next season they were cool enough to hook us up with the writing job.
Really?
Wow.
So I was
Yeah.
gonna say, because you guys have obviously become very ingratiated with them because Caitlin was in the mic.
Yep.
Caitlin's in incoming.
We had
out
written a couple.
823.
I got the job through a Sunny script, and then we written a couple more and kept showing them to him. And we're like, "Hey, we can do this, and we want to do this." And those guys were just great about shepherding us.
So if you got to pick one, you're picking Rob.
I love. I can't say that. I love Rob. I love Rob. But yeah, I
That's
know
an
you guys have
impossible
had
question.
Glenn in here.
Yeah.
He's the man. Charlie's the man. Caitlin is our muse. Like we'll write for her forever.
We got to get. We were supposed to have Caitlin in like early on, and it never happened, and we just haven't had it.
Oh, she's the
materialized.
coolest. You would love her.
Have you guys, in working on other shows such as the mic, and I guess you've already answered the question, like, how often do you bump into people who are not as down to ride as, like, I feel like Sunny, like, you write whatever, they're like, I'll do it.
Those guys are down for whatever. I feel like we did whatever we wanted on the mic for the most part.
Yeah, we've been lucky. I mean,
Yeah.
like, no one rides harder than Caitlin and Danny DeVito, I would say. Like,
Well,
they'll do
Danny,
anything.
we talked to about the scene. It was like a prank where somebody wrote like the very, very racist.
Yeah,
Ray
we wrote that.
You wrote that.
You wrote that?
I was gonna say, was that you guys?
That was our first
amazing.
writing assignment for Sunny.
No, we had written a script that year, and then at the end of the season, Rob came into our office. He's like, I've got this idea for an April Fool's prank for
Yes,
Danny.
yes.
Will you guys just take some shitty spec script floating around and turn it into
But our
this?
jobs were not secure at that point, so
Yes.
we really wanted to do it good. We put our all into this nothing
Yes.
script that wasn't even real.
It's very funny.
But that is the most important script you ever wrote.
It was very funny.
We talked about that. We were interviewing Danny DeVito for Dumbo.
For Dumbo.
For some fucking reason, Dumbo wanted Barstool to promote. So Disney's like in the room, and we're like, "Is there anything you ever said no to?" And Danny's like, "There was this rape script." Disney was like, "Oh my god, what's happening?"
Disney came up to us after, and they were like, "Look, can you just cut how many?" He said, because he said rape a million times. They're like, can you just cut the whole rape conversation, and then like you can put it out in a couple of weeks and just pretend you got Danny back again, because like we're just trying to avoid the rape talk while promoting Dumbo.
We didn't even know Danny at that point. Like, you know, because he's not involved in the writer's room or
Right.
whatever. But I remember he shot us an email after that and was like, I know I'm always telling you guys to push the envelope. I just never realized the envelope was my asshole.
Yeah. I think he said he like
Even that he's joking. It's funny.
he called his lawyer halfway through the script
Yeah.
to just be like, I don't know about this. And his lawyer finally called him back and was like, you should finish the script.
What a testament that he was even considering it.
Yeah. I bet he would have done it. Honestly.
Yeah,
I think he would
honestly, I
have.
think he would have. That to me is it's so well known, and he's been on it for so long that I think it's almost taken for granted that he did the show.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because if it was like a 1 or 2 season appearance, it would go down in history as like, remember the time that like this mega actor just dipped in with these cool guys for a minute. And now the fact that he's done it for so long, it's almost like he deserves more credit, but I think he gets less because you're just like, yeah, that's Frank.
He's
but it's like
incredible.
I mean, incredible. Like he could have never done Sunny and had a Hall of Fame career, you know. And
Yeah.
now you just
Yeah.
tack on 17 or you know, however many minus the couple he wasn't in.
It's also
of
like,
his career.
why are you doing that?
Yeah.
You don't have to,
Because it's
he
because
loves
it's
it,
awesome.
I think.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
it is
awesome. It's like if you could pick any show to be on, and it does. At least it feels like it's not one of those shows where you're like, so what was it like behind the scenes? And you're like, oh, it was a fucking nightmare. Like the show was great, but this guy hated this guy, and this guy didn't get along, and the money, and da da da. It seems like everyone's kind of like, I don't know.
No, I
Let's
think
just
it's
keep
something
doing it. It's fun.
We try to bring to everything we do is like those guys are having so much fun, and like that shows up on screen. Like what a ball those guys are having. They're just fucking around. Everyone gets along. Everyone loves each other. Like, and that shows up because you watch other shows and like like, oh, those people hate each other.
It reminds me of the Schmitty, Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah.
When he's like, well, Charlie, you're not having fun doing it, so no one's having fun watching it.
So like,
How much of the because I know there's been a whole episode based on it, an incredible episode. Gang tries to win an award, but how much of that like permeates or bothers production and writing? Like, there's definitely an air of it, right? Like, how the fuck have we never been nominated?
I think it's more confusion than anything else.
Has there ever been any clarification? Like, have you talked to anybody who's like, well, you know,
I honestly think it was just timing. Like when they like first came out, like other shows were always being up for best comedy, and then like once they were more established, then stuff like Louis was showing up, and it's like, well, that's smarter, so we should give it to that. And then I think they've just been on so long now that people are like, yeah, whatever.
I
Like-
same thing I said about
I think it
Danny.
was-
It's like you just take it for granted. But I mean, but at some point, there hasn't been like one person in the room, the Academy or whatever the I don't know
If
what
it
it's called.
bothers those guys, they don't
They don't let
talk
it
about
know.
Yeah.
it.
It's
You know,
gotta
like,
though.
But I
think they're
thought-
pretty-
I thought
Like
this-
not to the point that you lose sleep over it, but
I think it bothered the writers more than
Yeah,
those
I could
guys.
see that.
Like,
I could
I
see
think they're
that.
pretty stoked with what they've got.
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
good. But it's
But
I
they're
do feel bad
still,
for those
like,
people where it's
I
like
don't know. Never rule them out. Those guys are capable of putting something amazing on television. Still to this day, every season.
I would say that probably the last 3 incredibly emotional television scenes I've seen were
Sunny.
all from
Yeah?
It's Charlie carrying his dad up the mountain.
Yup.
Yeah.
It's Rob coming out to his dad, and the other one's not Sunny, but it's Mythic Quest when the pandemic episode when
Where
they
you
like
hug
hop in
Bobby.
the hallway.
yeah.
It's so fun to watch those guys slip into that gear because you forget that they're all like really great, classically trained actors.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Glenn
Glenn's
and
a
Julia,
Juilliard,
right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I can go to Shakespeare and I can also come over here and
DeVito's my favorite. Like the end of like where Mac comes out with the dance and like they just push in on DeVito's face and you're like, oh, I forgot this guy's one of the greatest
Greatest of
actors
all
who
time.
ever lived.
Yeah.
You can't just like slip into that gear for a second.
But even doing that dance or all the shit Rob does, putting on that weight, like it's pretty inspiring to watch someone
That's what I
work
say too
that
though.
hard.
It's not it's like they're doing the things now or have done the things that you usually get the credit for.
Yeah.
If you lose weight for a role, you get a fucking Oscar. If you do something coming out, like if you know, like you're pulling on the heartstrings, they're doing it well. It's like at that point, I could understand maybe some of the early stuff, but now it's like we've
putting
done
on
it
that
all.
weight was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Crazy.
He also talked about like, you know, if I did this for a drama, like everyone would talk about it and he'd be like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
no one's gonna
That's
talk
what's the
about this.
bullshit.
like,
and then you know, I just have such a problem with some of the things that get qualified as a comedy in.
well, it's in a weird place.
It's,
right?
Yeah,
it's
comedy's
very
in a weird
weird.
place.
Comedy or musical? Like, what does that even?
We just watched this show called Such Brave Girls. If you haven't checked it out, it really reminded me of Sunny. It's on Hulu.
Really? That's high
it's
praise.
It's
English
incredible.
Girls.
It's the
It
most
was
purely funny show I've seen since like Sunny
years.
or Broad
What?
City.
Such
No
Brave
shit.
Girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
It like took my breath away how funny it was.
Hell yeah! All right,
I
that's
think
happening
they're doing
tonight.
a second season.
Okay. And you think that they'll get the recognition you're saying?
No.
Or no?
Of course not.
No, they'll get fucked too.
Yeah, but
The-
it's very like hard funny.
I remember we talked to Alan Sepinwall 100 years ago. He's at Rolling Stone now, but I forget where he was at the time. And he said that like the Academy doesn't like admitting they were wrong. So if they weren't in on you in an early season, they're never going to get.
And
in
I feel
on
like they just wait
after.
for you to go away, but
Yeah.
these motherfuckers are not going away.
Well, they did it great at the past Emmys when they
Yeah,
came
they were
out,
awesome.
and
Yeah,
it was like Danny
Yeah,
was like,
they're
"No,
dancing
I
around
want
it.
two. I want
I think they've gotten 2 stunt nominations for Sunny,
Yes.
which is hilarious for a show that doesn't do stunts. It's like the only Emmy nominations we have.
Yeah, now at this point, I want them to win that. You know, I
Yeah.
want some bullshit Emmy and none of the greatness. Gets
Well, it was always
recognized.
like I feel like the writers' room would lose their minds when Emmy nominations got announced because we'd be like, "Caitlin, nothing for
Nothing.
Caitlin." Like she's
Crazy.
the only one. Like that's a less competitive category. Like that would really upset us.
Yeah.
So when you guys went from Sunny to was it Sunny then the Mick?
Yeah.
What like is that just kind of looking for something more? What's the impetus to
We'd actually
move on?
between those we did a pilot with the Sunny guys starring Bill Burr that did not get picked up.
No shit.
What is going on? What's that called?
It was called Pariah, and Bill was playing like a sportscaster who like
It's very topical this
Yeah.
week. He's like a Sports Center anchor who made some uncouth comments about a trans boxer.
Oh really?
Legitimately
in
trans boxer.
2012. Yeah.
starring Bill Burr and Regina King, and since that did not get picked up, Bill has become the biggest comedian on the planet,
Yeah.
and Regina has won every acting award
Yeah.
imaginable.
So do you, when that happens, I'll let you finish that in a second. But when that happens, do you go back to whoever said no, or shoot an email or a phone call, just like, hey, dickheads?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Like, it's hard. It's just so competitive. Who knows what they had on the schedule that year? We
don't think they
we
were
beat
beating that.
ourselves up because like Burr was our comedy hero at the time,
yeah.
and like there's part of us that feels like we probably let him down, like didn't get it done. But no, we learned so much, and I think we went into the Mick. The one mistake I think we made doing that show is like we really tried hard to collaborate with everybody and like allow a bunch of cooks into the kitchen. And at the end of it, no one like patted us on the back and was like, "You guys played ball, though." And, it's just like these guys didn't get it done. So like,
if there's one thing I've learned, it's like, I'll do this because it's the right thing to do, and somebody will like recognize it later down the road.
Yeah.
They do not.
And
ever.
that's not to say you got to be an asshole, but like at the end of the day, we went into the Mick like we're gonna make the show that we want to make.
Yeah.
And then getting Caitlin on board, we kind of knew we had a pretty good shot.
Yeah. She's the best.
She's
She's incredible.
So the Chernin name, obviously, very intertwined in the Barstool.
Sure.
Were you guys involved in any of that, or is that
No.
Dad and a whole separate arm of Chernin?
We have no
Did you have
involvement in that whatsoever. Zero.
Like, I don't know who the fuck you two
Yeah,
are.
like
No, we're fans of bars. Look, we
that was,
stay
it was just that they went out on such a crazy limb that,
yeah.
I mean, it forever changed
It's
everybody's
not
life here.
Often we talk about that shit with him, like, we stay out of his business, he stays out of ours. But I remember thinking that was cool. Like, we were fans of Barstool. We had friends that
So
liked
what, you hate your
Barstool,
dad? What's
so
going on? What are you
so
talking about
it's
here?
like, no, we love our dad. Daddy, I love you. It's just cool. It was different than some of his other investments that we don't.
I still don't know how. I still don't know how we convinced him.
Well, I think
Mike Kearns convinced him. And
he asked us at one point. He's like, "Do you guys like Barstool?" And we're like, "Yeah, we love Barstool." And he was just like thinking of getting a piece of that. And we're like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
By a piece of it, I mean like the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
He got a deal. Holy moly! I'm pretty sure like the ink was dry, and they turned to Dave and they're like, "You're never negotiating again." And we would have paid 10 times what we just paid. And we referred to your dad exclusively as the big swinging dick at the Cracker Factory for like 5 straight years.
That's all.
I don't think I ever said the name.
He refers to himself as that. In the house now. That's all he says.
Did he have a lot of like TV knowledge to help you guys? I remember I asked because I remember right when he bought us, he came in and kind of had like one meeting with us, and I believe it was Dan Big Cat who asked the question, but it was something along the lines of like, we're cool, but we want to be popular and cool kind of deal. Like, how do you get from that level to the next level?
By the way, in hindsight, that was a very funny moment. Like, it just happened one time. Your dad did like a kind of like a town hall with us. Because I think he just felt like he probably like had to, you know what I mean? Like, I just like bought all these people. Like, do you want to ask me some questions? And we were like, how do we get bigger? And he was just like, I got to go get on my private jet. See you later.
But he was like, it was about we were using, or Dan was using Arrested as an example, and he's like, it never kind of got to that other level, but it's still such a cult following. And he was just like, well, I put it on air and I took it off, so I'm the right person to ask. And I was like, damn, okay, that's a pretty cool statement. But does he have any, like, you said it's your world and his world.
I think he's really, first of all, he has killer taste. And so, like, I like his opinion just, not even as someone who's, like, been in the business, but just, like, I trust his taste a lot. I think he watches cool stuff. I think he knows what's going on. He has really good business advice from, like, 30,000 feet, I would say.
Yeah.
But then there are also times where he'll be like, okay, you got to call this person, and you're just like, I'm not calling the head
Shut
of the
up,
fucking studio. Like, they're not going to take
out
that
of my
call.
room.
I love reunion when you're talking about that.
Well, it seems to be going pretty damn good, man. So, I mean, these other projects that didn't make it, I feel like let's circle back, as they say.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Is that something that like that happens?
Yeah.
Like once you get more
I think
success.
there was a world like Arrested Development coming back on Netflix. I thought was like a moment where it was like, oh, people are listening now. Like if you and like Family Guy, Friday Night Lights, those things that got re-picked up. But that was something that was already on the air. Is there ever like a?
Unfortunately, I think these are dead. But even like the Mick was something that we pitched around town for a little bit, and then it didn't work out, and we revisited it 5 years later. This movie was something that we had kind of had in our back pocket for like 20 years, 15 years. Yeah.
So what makes you decide to finally do it? Oh, you said pandemic was part of it?
Pandemic, and then I think we just like in
We're
trying
aging
to
out of
we were just like
let's get the high school party done. Can't be
I
doing
remember
this
we
when we're
sat
60.
there for like the first 2 weeks just like paralyzed, like, what the fuck are kids doing these days? Like, I have no idea. Once we took like cell phones out of the equation, because we were kicking ourselves over like, how do phones work into your everyday life as a teenager? And then we just decided, like, let's just write it as if we were in high school, and then well go put the phones in later.
Yeah. If you're gonna focus on that, it would just be this.
Totally.
The whole fucking
Totally.
movie. It would just be kids going. I mean, forget it.
The Benj was great.
He's awesome.
Benj was really, really
yeah,
great.
that kid's
he
a
shined.
little movie star. He's got that twinkle.
I loved his. Never mind. I don't want to say it because you gotta go watch the movie.
You gotta watch it.
Not October. August 23rd.
August 23rd, Netflix,
on Netflix.
Right? Yep.
But yeah, it was really, really great.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And I mean, good luck.
How did you get actually one more? Talking about like actors being like, I don't know. Bobby Cannavale, how on fire did he get?
He lit his arm on fire.
Did he?
Yeah. Bobby's the man.
Dude, that was such a fucking.
We lit ourselves on fire first to show him it was cool.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
But the guy who actually came in and did the Human Torch thing, he was the coolest motherfucker that has ever walked the earth.
every one
so
said that day.
It was just, oh my god.
Yeah.
And afterwards, he
It's a shame he'll be a burned up freak any day now.
he lit himself on
He's dead
fire.
now.
He did it 3 times, like head to toe, fully engulfed. And afterwards, like we came up to him, we were like, "Dude, thank you so much." And he like looked into my soul and was like, "Thank you."
Yeah,
I just lit you on fire.
Think about
dude.
that. There's a guy sitting at home going like, I would love to set myself on fire. I just don't have the place to do it.
Yeah, do it. If you take one thing away from this interview, you can all do it. All set yourselves on fire. You'll be fine.
During that scene, I was remembering. I've never done a flaming shot. Never been handed one. Never been around one. And I was remembering back in the day, like internet, when they would go very viral when someone doing it, and like, it would pour down their throat, and it
Set
would,
their
like,
face on fire.
It was a nightmare. But also I found the teacher who comes very relatable because I remember I had the senior party after graduation at my house. Like,
nice.
I had the big party, and I remember being there. It's probably like midnight at this point, and I was like, "Is that fucking?"
I think everybody had that.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yeah.
I didn't invite him.
It's
How the
a very
fuck is he
relatable
here?
character in everyone's life. Like,
Yeah.
everybody knows that guy.
I went to my, I guess it's 20th high school reunion this past year, and we saw him, and it was like, how's it going? It was not going well. It was going about as well as you thought the guy who was showing up to the parties 20 years ago.
No, Bobby was the man. To
Yeah.
come in and do that, like, again, like, not a glamorous role for him. He's just sitting in a jacuzzi, fully clothed, getting lit on fire. He was a great sport.
That's
Just
awesome.
The coolest dude.
Yeah, and I think like in between doing movies for like Scorsese and someone else, where you're just like, "What are you doing?"
He'd give us a lot of shit. Like, that's not how Marty does it. Yeah. Like, well, we don't know what we're doing, Bobby, so...
No fucking kidding. If I knew how to do it like Marty, I wouldn't be here.
We have a kid here who Glenny Balls who
Love Glenny Balls.
firmly
You know Glenny?
believes
Oh, yeah.
Bobby Cannavale is the hottest guy alive.
He's the most handsome person on the planet.
He's very
Bobby
handsome.
Cannavale.
I'm like,
Very
Glenny, I think you might be a little too
Yeah.
Italian to be laying on this one. One more question I had for you. Like I said, I've been rewatching Sunny, and I'm really putting you on the spot here because there's 10 million different answers. But like, do you have one joke or one scene that is so shockingly funny that sticks out to you? And I'll tell you what the reason I ask it is. I referenced The Wiz earlier, but when at the very end of that scene, when Charlie's singing, and he's like, "I'll talk to the cops. They gave me this car," and he gets lit up. And I remember watching that live, covering my mouth and going, oh my god, but laughing through that.
Well, you know what's funny is I think we left Sunny in the middle of writing that episode, and so like we had helped break it at that point. Like
It wasn't a musical yet.
It wasn't a musical.
Oh, no shit.
Like we were still talking about that, and so we didn't see that for the first time until the premiere party. And I remember same thing. I was just like, "No fucking way! You guys just lit up a kid." Like it was weird.
I remember one day being in the writer's room and Rob and Glenn walked in with just like ear to ear grins. Like,
Oh, no.
We just wrote something awesome, and it was the implication speech.
Or no, that was Robin and Charlie. Robin Charlie. Yeah,
That's so good because of the implication.
I think that was the first script that got written that season. And I just remember those guys like coming down the hall and just like, and I had read it at that point, and I was like, Charlie, that is the funniest thing I've ever read. And he was like, he knew it was funny, but also was like, oh yeah, like we got in a good rhythm, like it turned out okay.
No.
Yeah.
How many things I know I said one more question, but this is the last one, I promise. I was thinking about this actually the other day in relation to Larry David, but I think it applies to Sonny as well. Where like, how many things were things before they became things? And I will explain, I promise. Like Larry David, like I'm sure he dated someone with man hands first, and then it became something in the show, and then it became something that is globally recognized now. Like you kind of referenced like drinking out of cans. That one you said that's not a real life thing, but like I know from listening to the podcast, serial defense was just something that
was real.
That was a Glenn thing.
I think it's little things like you know in like the beginning of the high school reunion episode where they just start smashing their bottles on the ground. We were just like, I remember us going through a phase at that point in our lives where we would like walk out of like we would sneak a beer bottle out of a bar just to smash it on the sidewalk for no reason.
It's a great entrance, getting out of a cab and smashing it and walking in.
But I do remember like when that was happening, we went to some party in New York, and like as we got out of our taxi cab, I smashed a beer bottle on the street, and the bouncer was just like, there's no fucking way you're coming in here. And I like,
that's fair.
Yeah. Well, I started getting into it with him. He was like, no, man, maybe like you'll learn a lesson. Like, and I was just like, what the fuck are you giving me lessons for? Like, I thought it was outrageous.
There's definitely stuff that just stems from shooting the shit in the room.
Yeah.
Someone will say something that'll become an episode.
How old are you guys?
39,
41.
41.
So yeah, I mean, you were pretty young when
I was
the
like
shit was going on.
23, I think, when I started working.
Yeah, I mean, if you're young enough to be dumb enough to be smashing bottles for fun,
I was a very immature young man.
Yeah, clear. We've aged out of the bottles.
Yeah, it was very fun.
God damn, that's crazy. Well, good on you guys. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so Incoming is August 23rd, Netflix. Very funny. Exactly the type of thing that people are asking for. You guys delivered, so good shit, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having
We're
us.
big fans.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
for
much.
having us.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.